It seems as if we're finally in the dry season of cartoons. What does that mean? Well, after Halloween, even though there will be premieres throughout this month, after November, we usually hit the dead zone of cartoons. And television in general, where like the first week or two of December we'll have new episodes and then it just goes completely dead until January or February. And the reason being is because holidays, holiday season, Christmas season usually tends to be a huge ratings killer for television. All networks are affected by this. It's usually the second half of December because, you know, people are all going out traveling, spending time with friends, vacationing, you know, doing their own thing. And while YouTube starts popping around then, television unfortunately declines. People's schedules are so tentative that they can't commit to sitting down at a specific time to watch an episode. It's just a really big gamble. So because of that dry season, news is also dry, but I managed to do some snooping, looked into some legitimate sources, and I found some things that I would like to report on, but just remember none of this is 100% confirmed yet, so take it with a grain of salt. But also remember, I have reported on things that weren't concrete yet that ended up being legit. I don't want to mislead anyone. I don't want anyone to think I'm clickbaiting for views. Granted, my titles are very attention grabber in your face because, you know, I like getting my ideas out there and my thoughts. But for news like this, I want that to spread so people will know what's on the up and up, so that way fake news won't get in the mix as well. And it's like, well, is this real or is this fake? But mix-ups do happen, like the Tiger Philanthropist last one out of Beach City fiasco. But no one seemed too mad about that, since that was more Zap2's fault for scheduling them on the same night. And before I get into this video, I would like to point out that in my 100K video, I shout out some YouTubers, some Steven Universe content creators that I think you guys really enjoy. And since this video will probably get more views than that, I'm just gonna put those shout outs here. And links in the description, so without further ado, let's get into it. First things first, it appears Gem Harvest will be airing on November 24th, 2016. Okay, so literally this video just finished uploading on YouTube, and now I have to go back and put this part in and then re-upload it, and since my internet's crap, have another half hour of this uploading. Okay, so the air date for Gem Harvest got changed, and now the new air date is November 17th, 2016 at 7:30 p.m. November 17th, 2016. November 17th, so like 2 weeks from now. Okay? Good. A lot of other sites have reported on this, but you know, nothing was confirmed yet. But the Zap2 schedule goes up to the week before Thanksgiving, and Gem Harvest is nowhere in sight. And this one German TV website, you know, posts episodes and air dates for a ton of shows, including Steven Universe, and they usually like to put the original air date in the episode descriptions. For Gem Harvest, they have it listed for original air date, so the United States air date, November 24th, 2016. So that is Thanksgiving Day, and it does look like on Thanksgiving Day, November 24th, this month, 23 days from now, 23 days from recording this, Gem Harvest will be airing. And I know a lot of people are thinking, wait, that's a holiday. Like, holidays are ratings killers. Why would they air that on Thanksgiving? Well, Cartoon Network has always had a pattern and past of airing new stuff on Thanksgiving Day. Thanksgiving week, plus Thursday is the designated date for premieres. But yeah, Cartoon Network has had a tendency of airing huge premieres on Thanksgiving Day. They usually have some kind of marathon preceded by new episodes. And Thanksgiving isn't like as big of a holiday as October with Halloween or December with Christmas, 4th of July, so it's a lot more safer bet to have premieres on that day. Because to a lot of more people, it's just another Thursday as opposed to Christmas or Halloween, where it's like, oh, this is Halloween, or oh, this is Christmas. I personally celebrate Thanksgiving, but then again, you go, you eat your dinner, but usually there's not much besides that, from what I observed. I don't want to base that just off of how I live, but I also observe my friends. They usually also just have dinner, then they're just, you know, doing nothing for the rest of the day. So yeah, take that with a grain of salt. But right now, it's looking pretty good. And I'm going to say it's legit that Gem Harvest is airing on November 24th. So get ready for that. But the same site, the German site, which has been legit with episode titles before, that also lists Gem Harvest for November 24th, also has another episode. And I saw this episode title about a month ago. Only one site had it, so I didn't know if it was legit or not. It was a site I never kept up with, but it didn't really look like a site that would fake stuff either, so I just left it alone until someone else would report on it. And this site has the next episode airing after Gem Harvest, which adds up with Rebecca Sugar and Ian JQ at Comic-Con in an interview saying there would be a family special, a winter special. So this episode will probably air in the winter, probably like the first week of December, you know, before like the ratings killer, like Dead Zone. It's an episode called The War. I know that sounds really clickbaity. That's why I was extremely skeptical myself, but then I thought about it. That does seem like it would be more of a legit title. It's not like Gem War or Shattered or, you know, any of those fake titles that go around that, like, you can try to guess what happens. This does sound like one of those titles that, you know, big episodes have. Like Jailbreak, Earthlings, Back to the Moon. Those all had, like, big sounding titles. So The War does seem like it would fit in with the naming scheme of Steven Universe without sounding, like, too out there or crazy. So this does not have an air date yet, but it is on the German site that lists, you know, episodes, has Gem Harvest November 24th. And like I said, it has a good history of being legit with episode titles. It isn't just a random German site that's like, oh, we're gonna troll people for clickbait and titles. Because the thing is, sites that do that with like the fake titles, besides like the wiki that anybody can edit, are sites that make articles saying Steven Universe episode called blah 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 and blah 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 blah. So you know, you will click on it, read the article, give them ad revenue. This site looks legit. It just lists episodes of shows, their titles. It's like a TV.com. You guys remember TV.com? Used to be TV Tome. It's basically the German equivalent of that. But TV.com did have a history of fake titles, but I'm putting more faith in this site because, like I said, it has posted episode titles early before that ended up being legit. So what do I think The War is going to actually be about as an episode? It sounds like a half-hour episode. I don't believe this is going to be a little 12-minute episode. This does sound like the family special Ian JQ said at Comic-Con. If you guys remember that, I had it in my Comic-Con breakdown. Said there was going to be some new characters. Said it would air in the fall and December. Early December, even though, you know, snow, everything, it technically is still considered fall. Until the winter solstice, which is at like the tail end of December, it is considered fall. Anyways, something called The War, especially something after the events of Bubbled and Mindful Education, and just all the revelations we've had lately. And who knows what Gem Harvest is going to tell us. I'm going to assume this episode is going to be A Tale of Two Stands of Steven Universe. And if you haven't seen Gravity Falls, well, get to it. I believe this episode will be about the gems sitting Steven down, where Steven confronts the gems straight up, but not just Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl, but Peridot and Lapis. Who knows, maybe even Bismuth, but I kind of doubt it. But at the same time, she would be helpful for this. They all sit down and tell Steven about the Gem War. The reason why I include Lapis is because he would have to learn about it from both sides. Granted, Jasper is corrupted. She's not around. She's someone who could, in a very good way, give it from both sides. But then again, Jasper was made during the war, so maybe not. But Lapis could definitely help fill in some holes from Homeworld side. And Steven could get a better picture of the Gem War from beginning to end. Granted, this could also, like A Tale of Two Stands, we get a little bit of information from Homeworld's point of view, but mostly it's just one side of the story. But by the end of the episode, we still have a lot of questions that aren't answered. But this episode could be our first exposure to actually seeing what White Diamond looks like, what Pink Diamond looks like, if Blue Diamond has anything, well, like, what does Blue Diamond look like under that hood? Because her Miro, it looks like she has some long hair. So maybe she'll take off the robe and we see her beautiful face. Hopefully she has, like, a lot of eyes. I want Blue Diamond, I don't know why I want this, but I want her to have an abundance of eyes, like, at least on one side. I feel like that'd be very, like, different from what everyone's expecting, you know, because, you know, like, a lot of people are figuring it, like, look like this beautiful majestic woman, and she still could, but give her like 10,000 eyes and I'll be satisfied. This episode probably wouldn't give us any answers on Lion, because Lion wasn't there during the war. We could learn more about Pink Diamond shattering, the breaking point, why Lapis came to Earth, Bismuth poofing her. There's just so much this episode has the potential to do. And if any episode that we could go off out like on a bang with 2016, it could be this one. A lot of people could say, even if this is legit, which at this point, like I said, it's a pretty good chance this episode is real. It didn't just come from the wiki or some 4chan. Like, usually you know something is fake if it comes from either 4chan or the wiki. This came from a different site. Usually when things come from sites that aren't, you know, like article clickbaits or wikis or 4chan, it's likely legit. Or Tumblr. Tumblr too. If it comes from Tumblr, it's probably not legit without a source. That being said, this has the potential to be one of the greatest episodes of Steven Universe, one of the most built up, anticipated ones, and I do hope they advertise it as such during Gem Harvest or whatever. Gem Harvest is already one of the most anticipated episodes just because we've known about it for a while, we know of its existence for a while. Unlike other episodes where we may have had the titles for it, but here we got like a clip for it like well over a month in advance, and there's just so much to it. There's a lot of hype around it, so I'm imagining that episode is going to do really good in numbers and ratings, and maybe that's why I started advertising it earlier, because they knew it was going to air on Thanksgiving, so they need like the hype boost for ratings. So right now, the only confirmed episode titles are Gem Harvest and 3 Gems and a Baby, but the war is likely legit too. Just like how those short titles popped up, and I reported on that. The Bismuth title, there's just so much that could happen, and it's really exciting. It's really exciting in my opinion. So yeah, I'll source that German website in the description, and comment down below your thoughts. Are you excited for the war? Are you excited for Gem Harvest, 3 Gems and a Baby? This video was originally going to be me talking about Steven Universe in 2017, but it's already getting kind of lengthy in the recording. I don't want this to be too long, so I guess I'll make another video on that this week on Steven Universe and what the air date might look like in 2017. I'm not Cartoon Network, so I can only make assumptions, but the summer of Steven definitely did affect like the airing schedule for a bit. And also with 3 Gems and a Baby and the war, we're gonna see Steven being born, and if the war is legit, we're gonna see a lot of what happened in the Gem War. So only time will tell. But it looks like they're wrapping up and giving us answers for a lot of things we wondered about for a long time, which makes me think Season 5 might be the end, especially if we get an entire episode talking about the Gem War. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, please throw me a like, please subscribe, it really helps me out. Ostrich Vox, signing out.